lot. But the bottom line, the common denominator, is the love that everybody had for each other and still do. And what breaks my heart is just like I'm a full-time, I've been full-time student pastor. I'm a part-time student pastor now as far as bivocational love. I lead my student ministry at my church. Everybody on our staff is a part of the bride. We love the bride. We're not trying to be a church, FCA. We're trying to be the church in action. That's FCA, okay? And just like in student ministry, when you see students 5, 7 years later, and the ones who are serving, you see future oak trees, and you just give God praise. Because you know you might not be you might not be the one to ever sit up under their shade, but the church will one day. The church is going to get a Sunday school teacher. The church is going to get an elder, a future deacon, an evangelist, a pastor, a godly wife, a godly mother. God, and to God be the glory. This whole thing is about oak trees. It's not about mushrooms. You know, mushrooms, I remember them coming up in the yard right after a rain or something. I go outside and there's mushrooms. I go around and kick them around. But when I think of oak trees, I go to the beach. I see some of those in Mobile that have just taken on storm after storm, and they're still just standing strong because they've got roots that are so deep. I think about St. Simon's Island, Georgia, where we go every summer for years now, and I think about those trees and how the trees, they're just so strong. And even though some of them look so old, they're still producing shade. They're still strong. People can sit in the limbs of those trees. That's what we're about. That's what this thing is about. That's the goal. So if you're interested in that, keep on pursuing it, and hopefully and prayerfully you will. Here's our group. Miss Debbie is here. She's out front. You probably already saw her. This is Miss Hillary. She's in the office. She'll be at the camp office, though. You'll get to know Miss Hillary Hopkins. You already met everyone else, I believe, up there. I believe you've met or have introduced to you. The next slide will show you what this is really looking for, what we're looking for here. I do not care during the year, back to like boyfriend, girlfriend stuff. I don't listen to that. I mean, I love you, but during the times of serving kids, you know, all that stuff's gone to me. And I don't care about the water problem. I want to find out who on our staff is fixing the leak. That's who we're looking for to join our team. Not someone else to talk about the problem, but somebody to get the dadgum problem fixed. That's who we're looking for. And if you're wondering about this cat, I like him. I don't even know him, and I like him. He got Wrangler jeans for a year. This thing went viral, this picture, and the guy from Dirty Jobs actually called him. It's a cool video. He said, I just got to know, was that a water line or was that a sewage line? He said, that one was a water line. He'd been in sewage line like that. But anyway, I'm not asking you to do that, but I am asking you to have that mentality that I want to be all in. The next slide will show you what we're talking about, parents. So, I love your kid. You know, the thing when I started a long time ago, I mean, I think I was 7 when God called me to student ministry, and I started because it's been so long, over 25 years ago. And I always told students what I wanted to be told. You know, I want Scotty, you know, I want to treat him like a young man. He don't want me to treat him like a baby. He wants to be treated like a young man. And the Princess Lauren, I want you to be treated like a young lady. The princess that you are, the daughter of the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. So I ain't going to treat you like a baby. And parents, this is hard for some parents, but this is a coach from South Carolina, and I blotted out his face because sometimes people have bad dreams over his face. But it says, you know what makes me sick? He said to my stomach, when I hear grown people say the kids have changed, kids haven't changed. Kids don't know anything about anything. We've changed as adults. We demand less of kids. We expect less of kids. We make their lives easier instead of preparing them for what life is truly about. We're the ones that have changed. And I got to tell you, in the parent community, we all know what that guy's talking about. I mean, it is amazing. So we expect a lot, students. We got to highlight. This is just like working at Chick-fil-A or just like working at Pizza Hut. This will be a commitment. This will be a job. You get there on time or you receive discipline. You continue to not get there on time, you continue to get to go home and not have a check and not have a job. Because this is a commitment. You know why? Because an 8-year-old, back to the whole relationships and all the issues of friendships, and so-and-so didn't talk to me, and all the things that could come up in student world, and they didn't like my like enough, and I didn't get tagged and punched on Facebook or whatever y'all do it. And I'm over 40. Help me. I don't know anything but Facebook, and I'm not even good at that. And y'all don't even know what Facebook is under 40. All right, but anyways, the thing is that the reason why is because, you know what? The kid that's getting off the bus, the kids that are being dropped off, don't care about your personal life. They want to have the best times ever. They signed up to come to camp. They want to have the best times ever. So if we're sitting here worried about Sissy and Sally and Susie and Bobby and Larry, man, we're not going to do what we said we were going to do when we said we were going to have a multi-sports camp to give them the best times ever. And so we're going to do that. So we expect when you're here, you will have a time where you'll have your phone, and there'll be a time where your phone won't be on you. There'll be times where, you need to do something that you're going to not like. Did you see in the video them serving each other lunch? We did that 7 years ago. We still do that. Last year was the first time one of our girls had ever held a mop before. And I could tell because she was doing it like this. She's like this was the mop handle. I'm like, bless your heart. Have you ever grabbed one of those? Have you ever held one of those? She goes, no. She was dead serious. I'm like, cool. Well, the good thing is it fits all size hands. So you're in luck. It's going to work in your hands. You just got to know how. So we teach you how to mop. We teach you how to clean toilets. We expect you to clean the toilet. We expect you to serve each other. You're going to get so many little things here that's going to help you a long time out there in this world. The next slide is just a little testimony. This is Walt that was on our staff. Some of you remember Walt. And this was just some of our staff that was able to go to Nashville. He invited us all to go up there. And it was just such a humble pleasure to be a part of his special day. And the next slide will show you, though, something pretty stinking cool. The FCA magazine should have been there. Walt, who interned with us with FCA, is Hal and his bride Kathy, who are on the board of FCA's kid. So his picture should be circled too. FCA board members' son is getting married, who interned with FCA, and all the FCA staff were there. But what's so cool is Walt's sisters are over here. He's got 3 sisters right here that are all a part of FCA. He has a 4th, and she moved out before we started FCA. All 3 sisters have interned with FCA, and 2 out of the 3 married these 2 guys who both interned or are on staff with FCA. And then one of them has interned with FCA for 3 years, and we're still hoping that she'll marry someone from FCA. Okay. But if you want to know how God can work, doesn't it blow your mind? It's like an FCA commercial right there. But I have a guy in this thing, and I have a girl in this thing, so I'm not hoping that every one of them get married through FCA. Just kidding. I would be honored because, it's just the relationships are just so precious. So that just give you an example of what God has been doing. The next slide will show you what we're putting in all FCA staff cars. You never have to stop. You just keep going, people. All right, next slide. That was just for you, Mattress. He totally understands me. We just don't have time. All right, but the thing is I'm at a game the other day, and how valuable is internship and those co-ops. Let's go back to those co-ops, those college interns. This week is regional basketball. And every year, regional basketball, we send college interns and our staff, and they go speak, and they do game day chapels and that kind of thing. And it was just so cool because we've had so much go by. So many things have happened. And there's been so many seeds planted. The gospel of Jesus has been planted so many places. And I ran in this coach last week, literally, like standing there, and we just start talking. And I know him as a coach, but I had no idea about the story. He said, I want to know how Princess Madison's mom and daddy are. And Princess Madison's mom and daddy are here. That's Brother Shane and Miss Gina Wood. Would you give God a hand clap of praise for our voluntary staff members? They're dear to our family and on the leadership board now. And I don't know. I just talked to her. I said, you know what? We got bracelets on us. A lot of our staff, we pray for them. We're committed a year just praying daily for them as they go through this year. Those of you who did not have the pleasure, and I do mean pleasure and honor, of meeting Princess Madison, you missed one of Earth's greatest blessings. But you're a part of everything she did. Because every student, every college intern that's in this room right now, they were touched. They've been touched by Madison. And this coach said, I just want you to know, our team loved Princess Madison. And we've been praying for them. My wife and I have prayed for them. And they're praying for y'all. And I've tried to tell them over and over, people that Princess Madison has ministered to is just beyond words. And he said, matter of fact, she spoke to us at the regional basketball game in the hotel. I said, thank you for telling me that. He goes, she gave us a rock. And he reached down in his bag and he grabbed this rock out. And he said, I carry it with me everywhere I go. I told you, Princess Madison's everywhere. Her fingerprint's everywhere. And she was going to be on staff with us full time. But God was so gracious to her in her fight with cancer. He healed her his way, not ours, and gave her reward early. And we're going to get ours a little later. And I can't wait to get to heaven to see Jesus, my daddy, Princess Madison, and a whole bunch of other folks who I love so much. But I know that right now, all of heaven is a little quiet because she wants to hear what's going on right now, and she's rejoicing at the same time. And just seeing you here, she's applauding. Because nobody that I know of loved SCA more than her. And just absolutely ate, slept, and drank it. She just totally believed in the mission. So all princesses, you have big shoes to fill when you try to follow Princess Madison and her impact. Because that's the kind of thing a random coach that I run into who's carrying around part of her story. So to God be the glory. Thank you for sharing her with us. What a blessing. The next slide will show you what you got to do all summer. You got to hang in there. This is one of our former kids who said, I just walked in the room and he was there. And I'm like, what's so cool is you took time not to get him down. You took time to take a picture. But you got to hang in there because what we're about to tell you is going to mess up. Some of you are going to have a little, you need a little Depends moment because it'll make you urinate just a little bit in your pants and because it's going to scare you a little bit. So do not be overwhelmed. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. And we're so excited about what's going to happen. And before we tell you more about the future, I think that's the last picture, right? Now, here's one more parent that said, oh, please give this to them. I was in a church in Arab for their missions day this morning. And 7 years ago, one of those interns that was in that video, mother was just telling me all about how God used that SCA internship to do this in his life. I said, would you just jot down a couple of notes, text it to me? And I said, I'd love to share that with the parents during the segment. And she said, I sure will. And right after the prayer, I got slapped on the shoulder and handed a note. And this is a picture of it. It taught him 3 things she said that was just huge benefits of SCA internship. Leadership skills, daily quiet time, and budgeting. So I want you to hear from other people, and that's what we're going to do right now is bring up some college interns and co-op interns, and we're going to give you a chance to ask questions.